Analytical and intuitive discernment are your best friends right now as practicality intertwines with dreams and shadows to illuminate your path of empowerment as we're coming into the upcoming new moon happening in the sign of Virgo. Today, I'm sharing insights as to the energies that are culminating right now, in addition to how you can best work with the energies to support whatever your personal goals are. So with that, let's go ahead and dive in. Welcome back, my friends. If you're new here, my name is Carrie. I'm a professional clairvoyant psychic, shamanic energy healing practitioner, and astrologer here in Sedona, Arizona. I'm the owner of Soul Star Healing Art Center, where I see clients daily for one-on-one sessions, in addition to offering training immersions, customized personal and group retreats. So if you're interested in my offerings, please take a look at the links below. So each new moon is a time of new beginnings, and it's the best time of each lunar cycle monthly to set what your intentions are for the month and even for the next 6 months ahead, really. But this new moon is extra significant in the way that it is heralding us into the upcoming eclipse season that we've got coming up in just a few weeks. In 2 weeks from now, we're going to have a lunar eclipse in the sign of Pisces at the full moon. And then on September 21st, we actually have an additional new moon happening in the same sign of Virgo with the solar eclipse. So, what does that mean for you? That means that there's a highlighted focus on whatever the Virgo sector of your life is, your chart is for the next several months. And this particular new moon is extra significant also because it's happening at 0 degrees, which is the ultimate degree that is connected to new beginnings. When we have the second new moon on the solar eclipse on September 21st, that's going to be at 29 degrees, which is about culmination. So I'll talk a little bit more about that. If you don't have a copy of your chart, you can get one for free on astro.com. I recommend using the whole sign system to get a really clear idea of exactly where that sector of your chart is, especially if you are new to astrology and still learning. And of course, if you need help, please feel free to reach out. I'm happy to book a session with you, a consultation that's connected to this cycle here with the new moon and the upcoming eclipses. Eclipses are significant because they really do activate deeper layers of personal growth that actually has a 6 month cycle to it. I'll talk a little bit about it as we're getting into things. Virgo is ruled by the planet Mercury, which means that this lunar cycle is ruled by the planet Mercury, which is connected to discernment. It's connected to communication, all forms of communication. It's connected to studying, learning, understanding, sharing ideas, and socializing. It's the archetype of the messenger. And then Virgo is connected to matters having to do with our daily routines, our physical health, especially digestive system related issues. It's also our daily life routines. It's how we are of service and our sense of sacred work. So all of these themes are going to be fused with the themes that are connected to the house or the sector of your chart that Virgo is in. There's two significant aspects connected to the new moon that I'm going to talk about first, and then we're going to talk about the peripheral things. One, The planet Uranus, which is the planet of revolution, sudden change, new developments, is directly squaring this new moon. And that energy serves as a pattern interrupt. I'm going to jump ahead a little bit and talk about exactly what the nature of this pattern interrupt is here, which is connected to a grand trine that we have going on between Black Moon Lilith, Jupiter, and the transiting north node of the moon. Black Moon Lilith has to do with our deep, deep, sometimes even unconscious desires. And it can be connected to our shadow side because oftentimes, what our deep unconscious desires are, we may not be consciously aware of them. And if we are, sometimes we repress those aspects of ourselves. So, the pattern interrupt that I see as being significant here is patterns that are connected to where we have held ourselves back, where we have repressed aspects of ourselves that are actually connected to the most authentic parts of who we are. So this pattern interrupt feels like a liberation in a lot of ways. This is a really great time to embrace the opportunity for sudden pivots, shifts, changes, and new opportunities. The other aspect that is connected here is a little bit more of a unique aspect than the square that I just talked about. And it's called a yod, or the finger of God, or the finger of fate, which happens when you have two planets that are sextile each other that are making a quincunx to an additional planet. In this case, the point of the yod is the moon itself. And the two planets that are making the sextile to each other, forming this elongated triangle, is Pluto and Saturn. Saturn is very much about spiritual self-reliance, especially because it's conjunct in Neptune right now. And Neptune is the planet of spirituality, intuition, creativity. And then Pluto, the planet of evolution, transformation, empowerment, which is ruled by Uranus, that I just spoke of, that is squaring the moon right now. So we have Uranus squaring the moon, and then we have the planet that it rules being connected to the yod aspect that is pointing to the moon. So, moon, what does moon represent? It's nurturing energy, it's motherly energy. It's also your deep inner private self, your instinctive self, your intuition, your unconscious self, and your shadow self. The new beginnings that are available to us really are connected to almost liberating aha moments that we have around, as I said earlier, where we've been unconsciously repressing our energy in some way, shape, or form. So, because the new moon is in Virgo, and Virgo is an earth sign, a way that we can support ourselves in this liberation, liberating ourselves, would be physical movement because of the earth energy. Any form of physical movement that stirs up your energy. Breath work is included in that. Deep, intensive breath work is always a great way to kind of sweep out, the old, stir up the energy, and create a space for it to be released. With the physical health components that are connected to Virgo, diet, nutrition, getting enough sleep, fresh air, exercise we already spoke of, water, and doing what you can do to support or embrace whatever brings you into personal fulfillment, upliftment, and happiness, because that's the feeling aspect that's connected with the moon in Virgo. And then before I get into these peripheral aspects that are happening, for those of you who are into the tarot, I'm going to share the tarot card that is connected to this new moon and the tarot card that is connected to the next new moon in September so that you can have a heads up of the progression energy that we're working with here. The Eight of Pentacles is connected to the 0 degree mark of Virgo. The Eight of Pentacles represents dedication, skill development, and mastery through perseverance. So take a moment to feel into what that might mean for you. How can you shift into dedication, skill development, and mastery that comes through perseverance in regard to whatever the Virgo area of your chart is? Applying your focus in these themes now is you planting the seed for long-term financial stability, legacy, and lasting wealth in all forms, because the Ten of Pentacles is the card that's connected to the next new moon in Virgo, which is going to be that solar eclipse on the 21st. So you can see how being aware of the energies that are culminating astrologically at any given time obviously enables you to work with them more consciously, which means that your efforts are aligned with the cosmic energy, which ultimately brings aligned results for you. So we still have Mercury in Leo, and during the new moon, it's making a sextile aspect to Mars in Libra. Mars in Libra is all about action in the direction of truth, especially with Mercury connected. It's what is my personal truth? And how can I take action, Mars, in ways that are connected to my personal truth, restoring harmony, balance, justice, which is the Libra energy that's connected to Mars right now. We do have a looser grand air trine that is connected to Pluto in Aquarius, Uranus in Gemini, which both are at 1 degree, and then Mars in Libra, which is at 10 degrees, and that's where the trine gets a little bit more loose. But I feel it's significant to mention because the evolutionary, revolutionary, empowering, transformative qualities of both Pluto and Uranus are aspecting wherever your Mars in Libra is in your chart, which is further inspiring the quality of action that you're taking. So the quality of action that is connected to your inner truth is driven by perhaps conscious or unconscious desire to shift even more into embracing your personal evolution, transformation, and empowerment right now. And then just to talk a little bit more about the grand water trine that is happening between Jupiter in Cancer, Black Moon Lilith in Scorpio, and the transiting North Node in Pisces. North Node in Pisces has a collective influence on all of us right now. The North Node of the moon, on one level, represents your true soul calling, and it's in Pisces right now. And so Pisces is the archetype of the mystic. And so collectively, there's this energy of seeking more meaning on your path. And of course, that's unique to everyone based on however it's showing up or wherever it's showing up in your personal chart. But the other planets that are connected to this, Jupiter, which is the planet of expansion, growth, development, good fortune, in the sign of Cancer right now, nurturing energy, and all those things I mentioned before, your inner private life, your home, your roots, your ancestry. This could very much be a time of empowerment that comes through ancestral healing, especially with Black Moon Lilith and Scorpio, because Scorpio is deeply connected to the depths of all things connected to birth, sex, life, death, and rebirth. So this is a deep personal renewal energy that is coming in. And as I said earlier, Black Moon Lilith is connected to those deep, deep, unconscious desires that we all have. And so this is a time of embracing those things, having healing around any form of sense of taboo that you have connected to your deep desires, healing around any past shame that's been connected to those desires, which is where the ancestral healing can come in. And so, how is that all showing up for you? This would be a great time as we're moving into this new moon that brings us into the eclipse season. This is a great time to be doing some empowerment journaling. Empowerment journaling is where we journal, we do process journaling around, what we're feeling through in our life, what we're experiencing right now, what we're going through, what our goals and dreams are. And then you're writing down, and this is what I have in my power to support myself by. This is how I'm being shown signs from life, spirit, God, universe, that I'm being supported in what my goals are. The upcoming lunar eclipse that we have going on in Pisces on the full moon in 2 weeks from now, which I'll make another video about that. That's going to be a North Node eclipse, which ultimately is connected to matters having to do with our spiritual growth, emotional reckoning, um, recalibrating, and a reconnection and alignment with what our higher values are for ourselves right now. So there's a lot going on with this new moon that ultimately is bringing us into potent potentials for new beginnings that are ultimately bringing us into a rebirth and a renewal where we're shedding all of the things that have held us back so we can rise into the vibrance of our pure, authentic, full potential. I would love to hear in the comments how this is all showing up for you or how you're navigating through it. And I'm going to wrap it up here for now, but I will be back just around the corner with another video. So I'll see you all then. Blessings. Namaste.